in, sizing up Murphy, drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. J-Dub way behind the three-point line and hits way behind the three-point line. Got blocked. What a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Uncontested Weekly Show, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm your host on this Wednesday evening, JD Silva, joined by a trio of fellas. First one, it's Jacob Niffen.
What's up?
Second one, it's Taylor Peterson.
Watching that intro just gets me so ready for Thunder basketball. I miss it.
I was just thinking watching the intro, we got to change this thing because I'm tired of watching Gordon freaking Hayward set that screen. Get his ass out of here.
And last but not least, it's Nick Crane.
Just going to say it. Silva pulls out that Viking shirt when they're 2-0 on the season.
Yeah, baby.
I haven't seen that thing in a while.
It's true. There's also, I just got this shirt, so I have.
Oh,
That's fair. Oh, that's the Abercrombie shirt.
That's
It
worse.
is.
Bringing Abercrombie back.
It's worse. They're 2-0 and now Silva's buying Vikings gear.
I'm back, baby.
Silva also wearing Abercrombie like it's 2006 again.
Hey, they're
Abercrombie's
back. You see that?
I-
Hey,
stock-
they made
that
a
stock
they did a
price.
they did a rebrand, baby.
I've got probably 20 Abercrombie items the past couple years.
Really?
We're back.
That's a lot.
Nick 100% would wear an Abercrombie polo with the collar popped.
Hell no. That was Taylor.
Yeah.
That was literally Taylor by definition in high school.
False. There are pictures of both of us together doing that.
Need
No,
that.
Taylor was a
I see
big time
that.
Hollister guy.
Oh,
I
yeah. I
couldn't
smelt like it.
I couldn't afford it, so I
cologne
had to
and
wear
everything.
Aeropostale, which is like the next notch down.
Hollister was cheaper than Abercrombie.
If you walked into Hollister in a mall in the mid 2000s, instant headache from all the
Yeah,
cologne
it was
and
Oh
actually
yeah,
really bad.
couldn't see shit either. It was dark,
oh
really
yeah.
dark. Got the flat.
They
bring
made
the
it that dark
flashlight
so
with
you couldn't see the price tags and all those
Yeah.
expensive shirts.
I never got to go in there.
I didn't know
$80 for a pair of jeans in that place.
It's
Yeah.
more now.
Back in 2006.
I didn't know what our random topic was gonna be. Maybe it's the Abercrombie rebrand. I have in my notes here. I don't like shredded meat. It's either too dry or too wet. That's another topic we could go down.
Oh,
No,
man.
I'd rather stick on the Abercrombie theme. Silva, what were you wearing in 2006?
2006.
How old were you? 10?
Yeah,
Were you really?
I was born in '96.
Jesus
my gosh.
Christ.
You guys are like a year and a half to 2 years older than me. What are we doing here?
I
Nick and I were
was
in middle school.
16. I was about to graduate high school.
Yep.
Jacob was wearing, hold on, let me guess. A pair of Fat Farms on his feet.
I
The
don't
hell
even
is
know what
that?
those are.
You know what Fat Farms are?
No.
Are you serious?
I had a pair of Fat
100%.
Farms in 6th
Fat
grade.
Farms were the thing, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pull up like FAT, Fats Farms.
Correct.
Yes.
It was a P with like the little, I don't even know if they were flames or what they were, like going
Yeah.
around the side of it.
They kind of looked like Heelys
You
without
could
the
get
heels.
different colors. Yeah, you
Okay.
get different colors. And Nick and I thought we were skaters back then.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't dress like it. We were still in Hollister, but
Hot Topic.
hot topic.
Yeah.
That's definitely, Jacob definitely went to Hot Topic. I bet you.
Oh yeah.
All the band shirts, all the band graphic tees.
Oh, here we go.
I was a, here you go. Some Fat Farms.
Yeah.
Fat Farms, baby.
I had white and black.
I had white and black, too. That was OG.
Never
had,
seen
uh,
these before in my life.
No, never seen those in my life.
It was a short trend, apparently.
I did own some Etnies,
So
Okay.
okay, those are similar. Those are like rivals to
Yeah.
Fat Farms.
the rival
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah. What about now? If you guys
Last couple years of high school, so 2006, 2008 through 2008, I was probably Vans low tops, some shorts, and band t-shirt.
fast forward though,
Called it.
we're in 2024. Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get a gift card to whatever store you want to buy one T-shirt. Doesn't matter how much the T-shirt costs. What's your go-to T-shirt shop?
Like plain or
Just like you can get a T-shirt.
cottonbureau.com/the
Okay,
uncontested.
But actually, what are you getting?
I don't really have a specific spot anymore. Like
I
all my
can't lie.
tees are.
I've been buying a bunch of shit from Abercrombie
Yeah, Abercrombie's
Yeah.
dope.
and Everlane, which is expensive, but
I've never heard of
shop
that.
there also.
Everlane.
Similar. It's similar.
Hmm.
Yep. I wear a lot of plain, like neutral stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. All my graphic
Skims?
tees like come from different places.
Yeah, I don't have like a specific place. A lot of times just online.
Instagram ads get you.
I'll if I go to like a show or I'll buy. I said in 2006, 2008, I'm going Vans low top shorts and a band
You're
shirt.
still wearing that shit.
Now I'm wearing Dunks shorts and a band shirt.
Oh man.
It's good times. I definitely don't shop in person. I don't like shopping for
Never.
men's clothing in person. I just feel
Never.
like
Agreed.
here's 40
Malls are
graphic
dying.
tees and some Hawaiian shirts.
You wear Hawaiian shirts?
No. No.
You did?
No.
Or are you saying
I'm
that's what the mall is?
I'm saying that's what's at the
Oh.
mall.
Oh, okay.
oh,
I thought that too
Yeah.
at first, Nick.
No.
It's like, what the hell?
No Hawaiian
Seen
shirts
that
for me.
Silva. That's only at the parties he hosts
You're right.
at the new crib.
Yeah.
The
All right.
new
Well,
Cribbo.
I'll table the shredded meat discussion for another day. We could talk about some basketball. There's some news items. There's an ESPN article I thought would be fun. There's a highly impactful retirement we're going to talk about at the end of the show. It's Woj. Anyway. Thunder
Spoiler
news.
alert.
Thunder news. We got some. Training camp is in a couple weeks at this point. Kenny Hustle, Kenrich Williams, had surgery kind of out of nowhere. Just tweeted out by Thunder PR within the last few days. I forget exactly what day that was announced.
I think yesterday.
Yes, he had what they call an arthroscopic debridement procedure. I don't know what that means, but I do know that
Can you tell us what that means, JD?
yeah, I don't know what
Dr.
that
Nick.
means.
Dr. Nick, fill us in. No? Okay.
Let me
You're
Google
asking the wrong man.
If Nick were to be a doctor, what
Oh,
kind of
boy.
doctor would he
Do
be?
not.
I think you knew where I was going. I won't say.
I almost did too.
Debridement is the medical removal of dead, damaged, or infected tissue to improve the healing potential of the remaining healthy tissue.
So they're
So-
as a knee cleanup.
Yeah, why didn't they just say that?
The Russell Westbrook procedure.
They should have just said, Kendrick's got getting his knee cleaned up. See you after preseason. Send PR release. It's that simple.
Hire the uncontested for your
So if his knee needed to
PR
get cleaned
needs.
up, when did it have the issue with getting all the not good stuff floating around in there? Was it this summer? Was it last season? Could that explain some of the fall off in his minutes?
I think you the other night you talked about this, Jacob. The back is I think what slowed him down last season. Like back is not something to mess with.
Especially when you're having to play center.
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean,
times, like-
think about this though. Like wrist injury ends the 2022-23 season for him. Immediately into the back problems that he missed the start of the year. Maybe he had this knee stuff last year. Like you never want to see a guy had a knee cleanup procedure because that means there was something they were dealing with and it's something you got to recover from. And it's like a reeval after postseason or preseason. But like put all those data points together and like you have to assume a better version of Kenrich is coming.
Yeah.
than
I mean,
got
you hope
last year.
so.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to practice those free throws.
I think it could explain some of the lack of playing time and issues last season. What this led me to wonder, though, guys, reevaluated after preseason. So that's right before the regular season starts. That means he's not available in camp or preseason games. Whenever we went through the depth, we thought Kenrich is probably guy 10, right? You got the starters, and then you got like Wiggins, Joe, Kaysen, Hartenstein, and then Kenrich. If Kenrich isn't available, I mean, everybody's going to get an opportunity in preseason. But now guys 11 through 14 get bumped up a spot because Kenrich is out. Who is the guy that's going to seize that opportunity?
I would say J. Will. And like you said, it's not going to be so cut and dry. It'll depend on the game. But like if we're saying the Thunder have a super competitive game, but Mark still wants to go 10 deep earlier in the season, I think it would be Jay Will getting those minutes.
I want it to be Jay Will. I fear that it will be Usman Jang.
I was about to say, does Usman take that opportunity? Like, is this that sliver of opening? Is this that opportunity where Us comes in preseason and plays great and earns himself that rotation spot?
I'll give you a different name. And I think this is only the name I'm going to go with because it's early season. It's pre-G League starting. And it's Dylan Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The
That was
body
the other
type.
one.
I thought about that as well.
Yeah.
The body types are similar between he and Kenrich.
Also, I like that you bring up pre-G League, Nick, because we've seen the Thunder play guys like Usman Jang more than expected. I won't say a ton, but more than expected early in the season until they go to play with the blue, and then we don't see a whole lot of them.
I mean, that's the time to do it because what you don't want to happen is you don't play Dylan and you just send him to the G League when you could play him and like maybe he's actually damn good and you're like, maybe we don't send this guy to the G League. Like maybe he's like Case and Wallace who we think can help us. I think you have to give guys reps pre-G League, not even because you think they can fill minutes, but see what you have.
For sure. I'm surprised you guys said Jay Will. I love Jay Will. I think with the addition of Hartenstein, I think we see very, very little Jay Will this year. Like very little.
Which is unfortunate because I do like Jay Will and I think he's good.
For sure. And I agree with you on that. When you look at like team performance and plus minus and whatnot, like he was definitely the weak link in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think you'll see much less of him. Last season, he appeared in 69 games. Nice. And played 13 minutes a game. If I set the over-under for games for him this year at 50.5.
I'd still probably go over, but I might go under on minutes if you set it at what he had last year.
That's fair. I
Minutes
almost
last
want to
year
take the
were
under on
13.
games.
Yeah.
So do
I
I.
know the Thunder actually think very highly of Jay Will for what it's worth, but it just like at a certain point,
You just get squeezed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they're playing the Chet Hartenstein two-man lineup a ton, like it's hard
I
to
think you
find.
can play it a ton and then still stagger them. Like last year, Justin and I talked about this the other night. You guys remember Sam Presti's end of season press conference? He said they played the two big lineup 5% of all available minutes. Nick, where would you guess that number ends next season? Two big lineup. Chet. So basically, we're talking Chet Hartenstein minutes together. What percent of available minutes will that lineup play?
30.
Wow, I said 15, which is a jump from 5. 30 is huge, but also wouldn't shock me.
And I don't like when I say 30, like I think
30
the
is
way
like 14 minutes a game.
I think the way they'll do it is like you play Chet, assuming Isaiah didn't start. You play Chet the first 8 minutes of the first quarter, for example. Hartenstein plays 4 of those minutes overlapped, and then Chet checks out. Hartenstein finishes so it's like it's like
Shea and J Will, or sorry, Shea and J Dub.
Yeah.
It's off season for
You
Taylor.
constantly
also.
have like these overlaps, but then sections where they play a part. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's how it'll work.
Jay will be very valuable as if either Chet or Hartenstein get banged up and need to miss a few games. Like you feel
Definitely.
good about that guy coming in.
If that's your third
and
big,
playing.
you feel good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't think he will become this guy. Like, doesn't have the fluidity. This guy that I'm going to compare him to in high school was like saucy. Like, seeing him become this player now is not surprising. I don't think Jay Will has in him. But like Naz Reid, it took him a few years to like become Naz Reid. Like he was always a fan favorite, but now he's like he was always like fun and like a fan
6
favorite.
man a
Now
year
he's
candidate.
super impactful. I don't think Jay will play the same way as Naz, but like the connective upside and like some of the unique things he does,
Mm-hmm.
I think could be intriguing. Like, I don't think he's going to move the way he does. I think he's going to handle the way he does. But I could see a world where Jay Will, like maybe a year and a half from now, is like a bunch of other teams like, I want Jay Will.
Maybe he gets in like crazy good shape. Maybe he slims down a little. He can play more of the 4. Maybe his shot gets better, and he can play next to Hartenstein.
His shot's good.
It is.
Yep.
It is. And and it wasn't in college really. I think he shot a much lower percentage, or hardly shot at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what Jay Will is shooting from 3 for his career?
It's definitely overinflated because of year 1.
Is it like 37?
I wanted to say 38, but Jacob makes you think it's going to be like
He shot in the
42.
40s. He shot in the 40s as a rookie.
I was looking at field goal percentage. 3-point percentage is 38.5, 39%.
Boom.
On 2.2 attempts a game.
Yeah, that's solid. That's really solid. If you can space the floor, pass the ball really, really well, be physical. What's his rebound rate? I feel like he's not as good of a rebounder as he needs to be to get minutes.
His total rebound percent last season 14.5.
Yeesh. Okay.
Yeah, not great.
Need to get that up. That's where I think he can
Those
make
are rookie numbers. Got to get those up.
Get him up.
So moral of the story is you guys think Jay Will is the one that steps in place in that Kenrich Williams spot during the preseason?
I mean, the
still think
correct,
so.
but also like kind of the cheating answer is that it's going to depend. It's going to change game by game, just like you guys mentioned. We'll see.
Well, for sure, but I'm just talking like the opportunity that exists now in camp in the preseason. Who seizes it? I mean, I think this is, to me, when I see this scenario, this is the Usman Jang shit or get off the pot moment. You know,
you
it's
keep
100%.
using that analogy.
You've been on
But
the
you're
toilet
right.
for too long, Oos.
He's been sitting there for 2 years now. Oos,
My
drop
man's
that
constipated.
deuce. Drop that deuce, or you're out the door.
Jacob, tangent here, just real quick. Trade deadline, February of this season. Is it more
I was
likely?
about to joke and say 2025, and you did it for me.
What is it more likely we see Oos get traded because of A, he's taken a step and like looks like a guy, has increased his value, or B, he's not looked good and his value is like, it's just like get him off the team before you got to worry about an extension and worry about that like financially in the offseason. I'm not saying what do you think's more likely, because I think you're going to say he sucks and he's getting moved because you got to get off him. But like what is more likely for like his trade value? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, are those my only 2 options?
Yes, it's like an A or B.
Probably B, where somebody else sees him as a possible A or a possible buy low type of guy.
Okay.
Like the
So
Wizards.
you don't think there's a world where he like, not that he's going to be like the 8th best player on the team, but he shows some things and the Thunder's like, we see these things, but also like we don't see the pathway to him getting minutes, and they sell high, if you will. You think it's more of a sell low?
Yes, I think the sell high scenario comes from good play in the G League, not in the NBA.
Okay.
I think the most likely is, regardless of how he plays, he's on the team next year because they are barreling towards that apron.
Yeah.
And having young, controllable contracts is the name of the game. And maybe he does figure it out at age 21.
Yeah,
age 22, age 23.
Or if you could get a really good 2nd round pick, like a team, like I don't know if the Nets own their 2025 second, but if they did, like an early 30s pick, that's a good contract too.
Mm-hmm. And for what it's worth, like if I'm the Nets, I'm not trading any pick for Oos. I'm trying to trade a player. I'm trying to keep the pick.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You're saying if you were the Nets, I think what the Nets have shown recently is that they're willing to take flyers on guys like that. Killian Hayes.
Well, no, I think they should definitely take flyers. But if I were them, I would be trying to get Oos by swapping a player that could help the Thunder now as a 10th guy.
Agreed.
Versus giving up a selection.
But I think the Nets would trade a 2nd round pick for Oos right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We have gone completely off the rails from the Kenrich Williams talk, but I also think I was having the conversation with someone the other day. I think all talk of that. I mean, we had the talk for years. The Thunder have all the draft picks to make the trade to go get the last guy. I think that talk should cease. At this point, I would be floored if they traded like 4 firsts for a win now type of player. I think the way the new cap is, or the new CBA is set up, and where the Thunder are at and who they have on the team, I would be shocked if Presti got off any of those firsts.
Agree completely.
I think it's select
Longevity.
first rounders, select first rounders, select first rounders for the next 7 to 8 years. I do not see them trading for a name.
Disagree. I don't think they're going to trade
Interesting.
4 first rounders, but I think they will trade a first rounder.
No, so that's what I was thinking. And that's kind of why I took away from what Jacob's saying. It's not going to be 4 first rounders or whatever, 6 first rounders for a superstar. They'll trade first rounders to continue to build off this team because they feel they have the core pieces in place.
I think if they trade first, they're trading them for first farther down the line.
And I think they're going to do both. Is kind of my idea.
I think it's. I would put a very high possibility on at the trade deadline. They're trading a first round pick and some other stuff for a needle moving, like a Kuzma or a Cam Jack. All the guys they talked about this summer that they didn't acquire, I think those guys are back on the table and they're making a move at the deadline. I think they're going to be really damn good and they're going to say, now's the time to do it.
I like it.
This is the cost controlled window before Dub and Chet. Like,
Seriously.
When you get into those Dub and Chet extensions, though, I mean, you want to keep
cost control contracts.
If they trade one of those picks this deadline, Nick, I think it's got to be a 2024 pick, one of those 4 that they have control of in this draft. I don't see them trading any pick past 2025. Like
I think it's less about the year of the pick and more about the years on the contract of the player they're trading for.
Interesting. I would push back on that a little bit because once they get into the apron, their first rounders get locked and pushed to the end of the first round, and those picks you control from other teams become insanely valuable to rounding out your roster. I think I don't know. I have a hard time seeing them ship off a 2026, 2027, 2028 pick. I think those picks, especially the ones that they have from other teams, for the Thunder, when they go into the apron, that is the most valuable thing they could possibly have. And it has less value as an outward asset going to somebody versus them using it. That I have a hard time seeing them get off of those.
We need to table this. Nick, I want you to, like, in your notes or something, write it down because I think this is perfect for our preseason bets.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of thoughts too.
That is a good point. Sounds like the trade deadline. Those podcasts will be more interesting than I thought they would be.
When they trade for Gordon Hayward again,
God bless.
They won't have to. He's not in the league.
they'll
Just
bring him
sign him.
back, and I will drink cyanide live on the podcast.
Jump off the Devon Tower.
I'll live stream at GoPro.
Quick yes or no question on Kenrich. Does the loss of Kenrich, if he's out for a considerable amount of time, change your view of the team at all in terms of?
Nah.
Yeah. I have not a knock on Kendrick, but just
Kendrick.
really
Kendrick?
Kendrick Lamar. They not like us. More so talks to the depth of this team.
I think Kenrich is a guy that helps you game 42 and game 61 and game 73. Not a guy that really matters that much game 1 through 20.
It impacts me because I might have to see Ousmane Dieng on the basketball court.
What if he's good, JD?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Then I'll drink piss.
You got to be held to that. You've seen the college football curse going around, right? The Florida State guy who said he'd eat dog shit out of a cup with a spoon.
Deleted his account.
Deleted his account. Now he's cursed the team. Saw a Kansas State guy today. Said if they lose to BYU, he'll put a Taco Bell beefy 4-layer burrito up his butthole.
Gosh.
Maybe I rescind my statement then.
Okay, thank you.
All right. This goes in line with what we've been discussing. Didn't plan it that way.
Drinking piss?
Huh?
Drinking piss?
Not drinking piss. ESPN did an expansion mock draft, which we did. We had some discussions around that over the offseason, really milking the almond, the content almond. The ESPN panel.
That sounds like a bet payoff. Someone has to milk an almond
an
live
almond?
on the pod.
That's how they get almond milk.
Yes.
Thank you, Nick.
Guess you're right. You squeeze it.
Nick's gonna milk the almond. Sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah. Could be. Anyway. ESPN
Sylvia,
did
you
a
want to
mock
tell them
draft.
about the euphemism you asked me at work a decade ago?
Hell no, I don't.
Okay, just wondering.
That'll be for we don't have a Patreon, but that'll be our one Patreon episode.
Maybe behind the uncontested OnlyFans.
Did we
Yeah.
make a Patreon? If you guys want a Patreon with some like unhinged stuff or just like
I thought about us doing a Patreon where like people can join the pod like 30 minutes early and like BS with us, and then maybe we do like an online watch party where people can watch the game with us. Like
or
once a month.
if there's like a topic you want us to talk about for more than just 30 seconds, like a super chat, like you could pay the Patreon and you get to pick an entire segment within limits, of course.
Yeah, it's like $2 a month.
Yeah.
We'll go live for election 2024.
Not me.
No way in hell.
Not me.
No way in hell. All right. There is a ESPN mock draft for the expansion draft. They are assuming Seattle and Vegas. Vegas. Every time I hear that, it's what I hear. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Oh my God, it's not here.
The suspense.
It's not here. I'll have to go find it.
You didn't carry that one over to the new laptop?
It's somewhere in my files, not on my soundboard. So
Taylor,
Vegas.
there it is.
can I get a different Taylor sounder in place of the Vegas sounder?
Never enough chocolate, and I can't wait to see more. It's a good one.
It's a classic. All right. So they went through quite a few picks of this draft. Obviously, just ping-ponging back and forth between Vegas and Seattle. They go through 30, drafting their roster of 15. 2 questions. Among those 30, how many Thunder players are there?
How many got selected?
How many Thunder players get selected? And who got selected? I'll also
for what
say
it's worth, not
something-
only Silva has seen this article, so we
Yes.
are going in blind.
something I did not realize you could do in a expansion draft is protect your own players by sending out draft picks.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't. Yeah,
I'm gonna say 3 Thunder players got selected.
I was going to say 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we correct?
No.
What's the number?
2.
1.
Ooh.
1 got selected.
1. And I'm checking my math here because it still sounds insane that only 1 was selected.
And now we got to figure out who it was.
Yes, Nick, among the 30 players that were picked in this mock draft, how many Thunder players were picked? And where were they picked? So you can start out with how many you think were picked.
Well, whenever I put my headphones back on, I heard 1.
You're right.
And now we got to figure out where in the draft they got picked and who it was. Can you
Yes.
tell us who got protected? Or is that cheating?
I can.
Okay, tell it. Yeah, because that would be common knowledge. So tell us.
True.
Yes.
Spill
Let me
the
just read you this
beans.
little. Let me just read you this little paragraph from I think it's Bond Temps or Bobby Marks or someone like that. Teams can make trades to protect their players, and the Thunder are an obvious candidate for such a deal because of their stockpile of young talent and surplus of picks. Specifically in this exercise, Bobby was forced to leave Nikola Topic exposed a year after OKC drafted him number 12 overall. And in doing so, Seattle in this case receives OKC's best first-round pick in 2025 in this
What?
exercise.
No
Wait,
way.
What? Say
There's-
it again. Say it again.
This is why Bobby Marks is working for ESPN and is no longer a GM.
Yes. So,
Sorry,
in
Bobby.
this exercise, Bobby Marks was forced to leave Topic exposed because he couldn't protect him in the draft, in the expansion. Bond Temps says, "I leveraged the threat of drafting Topic to land the Thunder's best 2025 first-round pick."
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Bontemps. Sorry, Bobby.
So,
Bobby.
so basically,
Well, Bobby traded the pick in order to keep Topic.
in order to keep
Bontemps
Topic.
was drafting for Seattle. Said,
Oh,
"Hey, I'm
okay.
going to take Topic," and Bobby said, "Wait, I'll give you a pick to not draft
Yeah.
him."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now tell us who got protected.
I don't think they say who was protected. They don't say who was protected
Oh,
in this article. All we know is who they took.
and we got to figure out where they were taken and who got taken.
Well, let's.
Yep.
We've done the exercise of who we would protect and wouldn't protect. It's the starting 5 that we assume with Caruso.
Does Dort get protected?
I think
Or
we
do they-
decided on the pod it was the starting 5 we assume, plus Hartenstein, plus
Queso.
plus Dort.
Yep.
Dort is part of the starting 5, brother.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, plus Topic.
Yeah.
But
We
apparently
protected.
they didn't
I think we protected Topic. So who
Yeah.
did they not protect?
It doesn't say apparently.
Process of elimination is what needs.
I almost want to just
Wiggins
jump
and
out.
Joe. I guess they must protect one of those
Correct.
guys.
Okay.
Is Dylan Jones the one that gets drafted?
No.
It's Aaron Wiggins, isn't it?
No.
No. Isaiah Joe?
No.
You only get
What?
one guess, you bastard. Next
We
turn.
run out of options.
You already said Dylan, Isaiah, and Wiggs. Is it someone weird like they didn't protect Caruso because of 1 year on his contract and he got drafted?
Nothing like that.
Oh, I know it now. It's who we just talked about, Kenrich Williams.
No.
Hell no. 29-year-old?
Is
on the
it Jay
expansion
Will?
It is Jay Will.
Huh.
So now we got to figure out. He got picked in the 20s.
Give me a range. Give me a range.
21 to 25.
I like that.
Taylor, are you good with that?
Good with that.
You're saying he's going to be one of the last picks, like end of the bench for one of the 2 expansion teams because there's going to be 30 picks, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. I would be shocked if he was drafted, so I'm going to say 30.
Number 1.
What?
Number 1 to Seattle.
Okay.
So I read you the first part of the blur.
No way.
I know.
We literally did the exercise. We went around the league and protected players. There was some awesome players available.
I can
Yep.
tell you. I'll just go down the list and read you these names. So the blurb, I already read the first part. They had to trade the pick to save Topic.
Okay,
Whatever.
let's preface with this. Is there a rule if a team were to say we want Topic, the Thunder could counter and say we're going to give you a pick to keep him, but then they're locked into drafting a player from that team? Is that how it works? I don't know. I'm
I
asking.
don't think so.
It
I think
doesn't
it's
say
just
that in the
conveyed.
blur.
We have
I
to
think it's
assume.
just using leverage.
If Jay Will is the first pick, there has to be some kind of stipulation where they wanted Topic first and they were locked into the Thunder.
Read us the next picks.
The blurb from Bontemps, his strategy. So I told you he leveraged for the pick for Topic. Says that one of those picks will likely end up in the lottery of what is projected as a deep draft in 2025. And I also added a good value a good value player in Williams who will make the minimum in 25-26. That was
He's gotta
his
be locked into
only.
the Thunder.
All right, so let me just go down the list. Number 2, Johnny Furphy.
Johnny Furphy over Jay Will 12 days out of 7.
Number 3, Miles McBride. Number 4, Dylan Brooks. Oh, Brooks is then traded to Indiana for T.J. McConnell, Jarris Walker, and Indiana's 2025.
I'm
second
sorry,
pick.
what?
What?
I felt like I was drunk reading this earlier.
Is this Bleacher Report
I'm
or ESPN?
sorry, what?
This is real. I'll put it.
Jarris
in our
Walker
chat
and
here.
other stuff for Dylan Brooks.
TJ McConnell is freaking good, dude.
That's Jarris Walker.
For
That's
Dylan
crazy.
Brooks,
Yeah, I don't know what's
you're
happening.
trading good players for a. Oh my! What?
Look,
Next
it's the
one.
off season for them too. They need clicks.
Next one, I put the article in our chat here. If you guys want to see this, also.
Crazy.
No, I'm enjoying listening to you. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Number 5, Tumani Kamara.
He's good. He's good. I'd take him over Jay Will 15 days out of 7.
Number 6, DeAndre Hunter. Which damn, the Hawks didn't.
Bad contract.
Bad
It's a
contract.
bad contract. Yeah.
Colin Sexton at 7.
Colin Sexton is freaking good, dude.
What?
Yeah, why wouldn't he go
Oh,
Is there
man,
like a,
first?
it's like a
I'm looking now.
podcast where we can
It
like
gets a
listen
lot
to them
better.
do this live
I don't-
and they just write about it? Or
I don't
what?
know. I don't know.
You can't write about this with these crappy blurbs and no rules or regulations.
Yeah, so the article opens up of like, here's when we think it'll happen. Here's how the draft would work. And then there's the draft itself.
Nick is going to freak out.
Am I miss?
That pick 9 goes as low as he does. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not missing anything. And then it's Corey
No.
Joseph, who can barely move
What?
at 9 or 8. Sorry, number 9. Kyle Kuzma.
What?
What is this?
What?
I've looked over this and it's still ridiculous. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay, so it's a back and forth draft, yeah?
Yep.
So read the odd picks and the even picks through 9 so far. So go odds first.
Okay. Odds, which would be Seattle. J. Will. Do you want me to read the picks that are involved here also, or
No,
just the
no,
players?
just
read the
names, yeah.
draft.
J. Will, Miles McBride, Tumani Kamara, Colin Sexton. 9 would be Kyle Kuzma.
Okay, now do the evens. Include 10. Share that one.
Johnny Furphy, Dylan Brooks, DeAndre Hunter, Corey Joseph, Brandon Clark.
These teams are going to be ass. if those
Total
numbers-
ass.
Oh, yeah.
And then it says Clark is then traded to New Orleans for C.J. McCollum and the Pelicans' 2025 first-round pick. They traded
What?
C.J. and a pick for post-Achilles
Brandon Clark
Brandon
hasn't
Clark.
played basketball in
Wild.
like 18 months.
Wild.
These guys did LSD and then wrote the article.
Oh.
Someone's
Oh my
smoking meth
gosh.
out of a Dr. Pepper can.
So then 11, Colby Jones, Leonard
Yeah.
Miller 12, Harrison Barnes 13,
Leonard Miller's
Grant Williams
back!
14. Yeah, Grant Williams 14, Craig
I
Porter
love
Jr.
Jacob's
15.
voice.
I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Jakob Pertl at 18 to Vegas. Jalen Pickett at 20 is interesting to me. Adam Bona at
Not really.
21. Quentin Grimes all the way down at 23.
Duncan Robinson at 2022. He's good.
Here's some ESPN propaganda for you all. Pick 26, Bronny James to
Oh
Vegas.
my god!
So
they
that
had
way
to
he
put
can
him in
end
the
up
article.
on Vegas for
They had to put him
for
in the
LeBron.
article.
when
Just for
he
the
takes
clip.
over the team or owns the team.
You're telling me if there's a pool of players, you're gonna take Bronny James 26th when he went 50 or 55 in a weak draft?
55.
You wouldn't take the 54.
Shouldn't have gone 55. Was going to go
There-
undrafted.
So let's just say he is worthy at 55. You wouldn't rather have the 54 players better than him from that one draft class on similar, if not better, kind of contracts?
Agreed. They're saying that LeBron's going to own the team, and that's why they're selecting Bronny.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Well,
that's
then I'm firing the GM day one.
Or
If
here's
that's how you're making basketball decisions, get the hell out of my
here's
front
the
office.
here's the other
can't do that if
scenario.
LeBron's the owner.
LeBron's the owner, and they trade them a top 55 protected 2029 pick for Bronny James to stop playing for the South Bay Lakers, and you get him that way. You don't need to give him an expansion draft. What are they doing? Why?
Agreed.
I don't know. I was putting together the outline and I saw this on Twitter come across and I started reading and I was like, this is batshit insane.
Holy cow! There's got to be like
this
a
like
separate
this should be
article
on
or something.
InfoWars.
There's got to be a separate article
Yeah.
or a podcast we're missing that's got like some like rules. This is one of those like
Something.
aggregations where it's like we're missing out on something. Because this is not okay.
It's got to be it's got to be something.
I mean, you could if Oklahoma City in like just that one franchise protected 8 players, and you said, who do you think's most likely to get sniped? Jay Will, the number 1 pick, is like my 4th player that I'm worried about getting sniped.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out my dude Jay Will.
Shout out Jay Will.
Go get your bag.
Jay Will's awesome, but like, holy cow.
He went
Maybe
number
they're
1
just trying
overall
to
for
build,
the
maybe
vibes.
they're trying to build a team culture.
The other part of it is the reasoning is he'll make the minimum. I've got the article open now. We'll make the minimum salary in 2025-26 when the first thing in the report about Silver's thought process was that this would start in 2027-28.
They're cooked.
So why does it matter if he makes the minimum the year before the team exists?
I don't know. When was this published?
Hey, Woj announced his retirement, and everyone just went brain dead at
It's
ESPN.
That's what
published
I'm saying.
today.
It was posted today, right
Today.
before Woj tweeted out his retirement. So maybe they got the news internally. They were like, F it, hit publish.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm glad I could take you all down that
Well,
journey.
here's a story 2 days ago from Bon Temps, how Seattle and Las Vegas and LeBron fit into the NBA's expansion future. Oh, buddy,
What do we got?
there's a part. Oh, yeah, part 1 of this story is rules and regulations.
Yep. That's what I read earlier.
Yeah.
Why Seattle, why Las Vegas, other cities, potential owners.
I've been looking over and over for like each team protected these players. And this is our pool.
That's not in here for sure.
Unless every team got to protect like 13 players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huh. Jump to mock draft. Yeah, I can't find anything that suggests.
Weird.
It's wild.
Anyway.
For what it's worth,
that's
I'm not
so.
trading the best pick in 2025 to be able to keep Nikola Topic.
I'm not either.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
They can have Mr. Airbud as far as I'm concerned.
Mr. Airbud, yes. That's great.
What does it say?
We've spent too long, can we?
No. It's like it's the Thunder are never in these big headline aggregated articles, so it's worth talking about briefly. First paragraph, first sentence in pick number 2 says, "I would have taken Topic with the first pick and not thought twice about it." So like a guy that's not even playing would have been the first pick. A guy that's the 11th or 12th man is the first pick.
Can you imagine being the GM of Seattle, sitting down in your brand new office, brand new clean whiteboard,
And off
right,
the top
number
of your
1
board,
on the whiteboard, Nikola Topic. Slam down the dry erase marker.
J-Will.
Hey, if you're an expansion team, though, and you can bluff another team into, not even bluff, just strong arm them into giving you a first, like
Yeah.
their best first of like 3 selections in 2025, like you
Yeah.
do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So take the Rockets, for example. Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Şengün, Jabari, Jalen, Whitmore, Reed Shepherd, Van Vliet, Dylan Brooks. So I guess they dropped Dylan.
And they're like, thank God.
Thank God it's not 7.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a hard decision to make.
Yeah. For sure.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. If any of our listeners want to read the article, hope you have ESPN Plus because it's behind that paywall.
Is
on
it?
ESPN. I think so. It made me sign
I
it.
don't know.
Anyway, we should probably take our first ad break, huh?
Let's do it.
Remember when I said the show would be 45 minutes long?
Silva pregame said
Every
the show will be 45
time,
minutes. We're doing ad
every
break 1
time.
at 45 minutes.
Anyway, we'll be right back. We're back from the ad break. Taylor.
Hey, Silva, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Would you like to win $500?
I would.
I think our listeners would too. Go to bluewirepods.com/survey and complete the Blue Wire audience survey about you and your podcast listening habits for a chance to win a $500 gift card. This survey will help create a better advertising experience for audiences and in turn help this show as well as our other shows on the Blue Wire Podcast Network. That's bluewirepods.com/survey, where all you have to do is answer some simple questions for a chance to win $500. Make sure to read the full terms and disclaimer. Books. Make sure to read the full terms and disclaimer, plus complete the survey for a chance to win. Again, that's bluewirepods.com/survey, and we'll be sure to post that link in our description of the episode once we get posted.
Taylor, what are your podcast listening habits?
Honestly, it's pretty predictable. A lot of basketball, us obviously at the top. League-wide stuff, some Thunder stuff, but then some Chiefs and some national NFL stuff, and then I mix in some oil and gas podcasts as well.
When do you do
Oil and
things?
gas podcast.
When do you do things
yeah.
that are
I'm
not
a nerd.
listening to
And-
podcasts?
Yeah. So basically, when I'm driving, usually have a podcast on, especially because I have a ridiculous commute on I-35 up to downtown OKC.
I don't want to hear about traffic.
Yeah, it's not fun. Fair enough, Mr. Dallas. And then also at work, like when I'm working on a project or something, usually I put something in, and listen to it, help me get through a project, help me focus, and then the gym. Mowing the lawn, another great option. I know Justin's big on that. Those are really my only chances too with a toddler running around at home.
JD, are you listening to podcasts at a higher speed than 1.0?
No,
Yeah.
never.
I think people who listen to podcasts at 2 times speed need to go in for like a psychological evaluation.
I'm 1.5, sometimes 1.75 if it's a long podcast.
1.5 if I'm trying to get to a certain point in a podcast and I don't want to hit skip a whole bunch is acceptable. People who just listen at 2.0, you need a brain scan.
That's Clemente. Our guy Clemente, like we'll do it. Some apps let you go higher, and Clemente, I'm pretty sure has said before he goes even higher.
That's
than that.
insane.
Clemente's just trying to get them quotes.
If you listen at that speed for long enough, what happens to you in regular conversations?
That's a great question. Are you talking
like-
super fast, or do you think everyone else is? Is it
Speed
kind
up.
of like when you're walking really fast on a treadmill and then you get off on normal ground and you're like, "Oh God, can't do it, dude."
No.
If you listen to the Uncontested at 2.0 speed, stop downloading the show. I'm just kidding. Keep listening. But you're a psycho.
Can you guys imagine me at 2 times speed? My gosh.
I'd need to take the Ritalin.
Okay, we're gonna close out the show with a memorial. The man's alive.
Play the music.
On this day, and this morning, Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj, as we all know, retired from ESPN. His final Woj moment. And he said this bar. I'll end with this bar that he wrote. Quote, "Time isn't in endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful." End quote.
Bar.
And he's going to go be the GM of St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about he wanted to spend more time with his family. He was like, "No, I
Yeah.
want to go GM."
And now I'm going to
I
go.
want to be the
College basketball
GM.
team.
The only question to ask here: how long before he's in an NBA front office?
I don't think it happens.
I think the Bonnies like that's
Bonnies?
that's what they're called.
Yeah.
The Bonnies.
Oh, shit.
The Bonnies.
I think that's a like nostalgic itch to scratch, and he'll like love it for a couple years. He's gonna get so many damn offers to do other stuff in the league.
Yeah.
I think like it's just like anything. When you start something new and fresh and cool, like it's a new job or a new whatever, like it's always sick at the beginning. But at some point, you're like, all right, I've scratched that itch. I've done the thing. I've gone back to my alma mater. I've made an impact. I've done cool stuff. He'll be in the league by the time the Thunder Arena is built. He'll be in a league position. Maybe not GM, but he'll be in a league position.
Interesting.
Remember
Do you
when
think we get like normal NBA Twitter degenerate Woj now?
That'd be
Like
fun.
instead of breaking news, is he going to be like shitting on the refs or proposing crazy fake trades or something like the rest
would
of
be
us?
awesome.
This is why Bronny should have never been drafted.
I hope he starts a
don't know.
podcast or something and just talks about
He has
like,
a podcast.
okay, but one that he can be more open about. I was thinking, Nick, you brought up him getting another job elsewhere. It reminded me of Lee Jenkins from back in the day,
Yep.
who was left from being a columnist, feature writer, to be
Sports
VP of
Illustrated.
basketball affairs with the Clippers.
Yeah,
Similar.
I don't see Woj being a. I think he's like sneaky funny. I think he'll have like
Yes.
some tweets that are like funny. I don't think he'll be like a regular tweeter. Have you guys unsubscribed to his tweets? Or are you still
Oh,
subscribed?
never.
Hell no.
Never.
I'll never unsubscribe.
I think he'll have some funny tweets that'll like he'll be like a legend forever. I just can't wait for like 7 years from now, the kids that just don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
For the
Back
kids
in my
that are-
day, we had Woj bombs.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's gonna be one of those things that like
Yeah.
some people just don't get it.
We used to talk all the time about what a post-Woj NBA would look like. I didn't think it would come this soon.
I don't know the NBA really without Woj. Like I've
Yeah.
not followed the NBA without. Like I worked in my first job. And I won't say the name of the company because I don't know if we should do that or not. We were
Sign an
closing up.
NDA.
We were closing up. It was late. Phone goes off. Adrian Wojnarowski reports.
Yeah.
They traded James Harden.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's like I have to have his notifications on forever.
Totally. Ever.
Yep.
Yeah, forever. I've got friends at work and like personal, like we've never talked hoops. Like they know I do basketball stuff, but we never like talked hoops. I was getting text today, like, man, Woj. And I'm like, you know what? You know Woj? Like he was a celebrity, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's
Except
crazy.
they're all someone called me and said Woj, and I was like, so you know
Blew
who
it.
he is, but you don't know who he is.
You don't know ball.
You
Don't know ball. Do you guys have like favorite Woj memories? We put up Jacob tweeted out from the account earlier, asking some of you to like go through your most memorable OKC Woj bombs. There have been quite a few because Sam Presti loves to trade, loves to shake things up.
Also was
go through
pretty
the thread.
loyal to Woj. I think it's worth mentioning, especially in comparison to Shams. Usually any OKC info, which is very rare to leak when accurate, always came from Woj.
What if we get a book in 15 years written
Oh, I
by
bet we do.
Presti,
Dude.
written by Presti and Woj?
He'll get paid a lot of money to write a book or something that has,
I
like,
would pay a
fencing.
lot of money to get that notebook, just of all this
Yes.
stuff that never happened.
Yeah.
What if
That
he's
was,
been
like, on the
filming a
doorstep?
documentary like Michael Jordan this whole time? We just didn't know.
This last
That'd be dope.
season,
That would be
following
dope.
Woj.
No, that would be so
awesome.
sick if there was like a podcast series or a book that was like the craziest NBA transactions that didn't actually happen. That would
Yeah.
be sick.
Yeah.
And then
Totally
NBA
agree.
Central would make all the money off of aggregating it.
Oh my God.
More than the book would actually make.
So I will say, I remember the Woj bomb that's maybe most infamous for me was the one I missed. Being on the East Coast and the PG trade going down at like 2 a.m. East Coast time. And I was fast asleep. I woke up to like 50 Twitter mentions, like 60
20
or
missed
70
calls from
texts,
Nick. That's my
and
favorite.
Nick
tried
had
waking
called
you
me
up.
like 5 or 6 times.
I was at the club and I remember going to the bathroom and going to the stall and trying to call you and wake your ass up.
I was at the club.
But I was at Bottle Blonde.
Bottle of wine in Dallas. What a spot.
Yep.
I just remember waking up and being like, "Oh my god, seismic!"
Yeah, huge.
That's when I had
it wasn't
listened
even
to,
expected.
because that's when
Oh,
we all,
not at all.
we all remember.
And then
where
I
we were.
remember not the anxiety, but the anticipation. The next, what was it, 10 days?
Yep.
Waiting for
Yeah.
the inevitable Westbrook shoe to drop.
So
And
Woj
finally getting
tweeted
that
that.
Woj one.
He tweeted the Paul George trade 7/6/2019 at 12:55 a.m. That's when we all woke up. I remember waking up shortly after, thank goodness, because I heard my phone go off.
Early July is a bad time.
So then only 5 days later, I'm at the gym. Per usual, I'm doing arms. Jacob, I get this call from Jacob
sounder.
rep.
Wow.
Had to throw that in there because it was pretty funny. I remember exactly where I was in this gym in Tulsa. And Jacob calls me. I get a missed call. I finish my rep, and then he's calling again. I answer. He goes, Russell Westbrook's been traded. So 7-11, 5 days later, that's when they trade Russell Westbrook to the Rockets for Chris Paul and the picks. Again, just how that whole week played out, the anticipation, like Nick mentioned, like Jacob mentioned, it just absolutely crazy. But two things I came across when looking this one up. One day later, Woj reports, plan for OKC is that CP3 doesn't play a game in a Thunder uniform, looking to move him soon. 5 days later after that, so we're talking 6 days later after the trade, OKC has been working with Paul and his reps on finding a trade. Nothing has materialized so deep in the summer. Both sides believe there are benefits to Paul, age 34, playing out the year with the Thunder.
Yeah.
I remember how shocked we were.
Worked out well.
And how, yes, that one
Well, for
aged like
everybody.
fine wine. Exactly.
Yeah. The crazy big picture, all this stuff. I think all of us in life have had like traumatic events, awesome events, ups and downs, and all that kind of stuff. it's just weird that like when something in sports happens, you remember exactly where the Chris for Russ swap. I know exactly where I was. The Paul trade, I know exactly where I was. The Paul trade to Oklahoma City, I know exactly where I was. Like
That's the one I remember the most.
It's like vivid, you know, and like there's things in life that are a hell of a lot more important that I'm like, I kind of remember that happening, but I don't remember the details. It's just so crazy.
That's
Woj
so
bombs hit
true.
like crack, man.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I listed because I remembered exactly where I was. Like so he has a trade for Carmelo Anthony picking the Thunder because he had the no trade clause.
I remember where I was when that one.
I was at a TU tailgate at the TU Pike House. Shout out
to the Ramona. It's not Ramona reporting Paul to Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
I like. I'll never forget that ever.
I thought it was
like,
fake.
I was like shocked.
Ramona,
I thought it was fake.
I like stood up off I was living in Oklahoma City at the time. I got off my couch and I looked at my roommate and I was like, Paul George plays for the Thunder.
Yeah. I was celebrating my 21st.
Very limited service, and I got that come across, and I remember just scrolling, but I couldn't get anything to load afterwards, and just madness.
Unreal.
I was celebrating my 21st, I think, at Heyday. I think I was about to start bowling. Had a drink in my hand, and all of a sudden, my world gets turned upside down.
Yeah.
I had some deep cuts, kind of some fun ones when I was scrolling through these. The Oklahoma City Thunder promote assistant Mark Daignault to become the franchise's next head coach. That was November 11, 2020. That's why it stood out to me, because it's the COVID season, right? And just like very weird timing there. That's something we'd expect, September, August, maybe July. And then, of course, we're all sitting there March 11th, 2020, and we're hearing about COVID. We don't really know what it is necessarily or the severity of it. And the game gets postponed. I just remember all of us sitting there on our phones just scrolling, waiting for the
Rudy game?
Tweet.
The Jazz game?
The Jazz Rudy game.
I remember exactly where I was.
The Jazz and Thunder players are currently quarantined in the OKC arena. This is following Rudy Gobert testing positive for the coronavirus.
Back when we still called it coronavirus.
I know.
Yeah,
in that instance, I was at a group gathering with some older folks that had no idea what basketball was. Like, they knew what it was, like they don't know anything about the league. And I just remember like being like, I wish there was someone here to talk to about this, because there's a lot of crazy shit happening, and like an NBA game just like halted, but there's no one here that understands the magnitude of this. And I was like, I'm gonna step away and like,
that was the moment.
You guys were the outlet. Like our Slack channel was like the outlet to go talk about this stuff. That
was the moment COVID became like real in this country.
Yeah.
Wasn't Nicolas Cage before that?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Tom Hanks in Australia.
I thought it was Nicolas Cage.
No,
was it Tom Hanks?
Yeah. It was Tom Hanks in Australia.
Nicolas Cage stole the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, I know that. I think that's where COVID originated.
The Declaration of Independence.
And he pulled out of that tube that hadn't been opened for 300 years.
Okay, so
what's going to happen? Ludacris drank that glacier water. What's going to happen now?
What?
Jacob's not on the social media waves.
So there was a series of tweets.
Did he also have that
were really interesting?
Hezbollah pager?
Yes, that too.
That's like when Jacob didn't know who Ice Spice was.
Yes,
this is the same situation.
Every time I hear Ice Spice, I think I Spy, like I Spy. The game.
Of course,
I know the game.
Speaking
of games, Taylor, you can finish your thought after this. Someone brought up a game today that I forgot about. I'm going to buy it on eBay. Bop It.
Oh, Bop
It! It's a great game.
Yeah, overwhelming.
Like being very young. Yeah, that was stressful.
I'm getting an OG Bop It mailed to my house very soon.
That's cool.
How much did you pay for it?
Like $19.
Well, that's not
we
bad.
do it on stream?
Yeah. Bop It.
I know exactly what Nick has in mind for this. It's going to be a fun drinking game for when you have people over.
Of course. Twist it. Twist it.
That is a sounder.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Continue, Taylor, please.
So just Jacob's dying back there. Oh man, I'll save Nick. There was a period in 2016 I think kind of encapsulates Thunder.
Look how red Taylor is.
I just heard Jacob in the background. Ah!
Taylor, you're as red as the spinach
bright
toggle
red.
on the Muppet.
Oh man, that was good. Bringing us back to the topic.
Take us home.
2016. It was a very dividing time for Thunder fans. There was a lot of hope, a lot of promise. We're thinking KD is hopefully coming back. There's talk about Al Horford. And so this series of tweets from Woj, June 23rd, Orlando will send Victor Oladipo, Ilyasova, and rights to Sabonis to the Thunder for the Victor Oladipo trade.
Who's Sabonis?
What? And the rights to Sabonis to the Thunder.
They said Bryce.
Bryce Sabonis. It's already derailed. So we get the Oladipo trades, what I'm getting at. And then there's two tweets. Actually, this one is 2 days before Kevin Durant's decision. And it's talking about how the Thunder were ready to unload contracts, and Billy Donovan and KD had been recruiting Al Horford, and Al Horford decided to go to the Celtics instead. And then from there, we get the tweets about Kevin Durant leaving. And Sam Presti will talk publicly at the Thunder's practice facility tonight. Just kind of crazy how all that went down.
Well, that was traumatic to relive, Taylor.
After the
Thankfully-
Boppet story?
Thankfully,
After the Boppet story.
Nick, yeah.
Can I ask this?
Twisted.
Can I ask this? We are over an hour. I have to ask. Who fills the void? Because I don't think... Like, Shams is obviously there. He's obviously been the guy, the other guy. Shams is a little different, though. Shams works for FanDuel. Like,
Not
Shams
anymore.
wants the attention a little more. He's more playing the social media game. He tweeted, when we do this same podcast for Shams in however many years, 30 years, whatever, he's a young guy, and we go back to his most iconic tweets, one of them might be, President Donald Trump has contracted the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like, he has a different brand.
Very, very clout chasing, for sure.
He has a different brand. He's just different. So
I think it's
know.
going to be somebody out of left field that comes in for Woj and starts off at a lower level and builds their way up.
I was thinking about that, Silva. I think about Summer League. We're walking the concourse. We're going from gym to gym. There's Shams amongst the people. He's in line for a hot dog or whatever, to bring us back to our theme for off-season podcast.
Cream cheese. There was some mayo on that glizzy.
And then, like, you never see Woj except down there on the baseline where all the coaches and media people are. Just two completely different personalities.
Yeah.
Am I insane to not just say it's Zach Lowe?
Oh, I would love that.
I would love
I
that.
would
I don't think
too.
he...
I don't know. We're thinking about who are the other like news breakers at Yahoo and The Athletic and like all that kind of stuff. Like, could they not just promote within and say Zach Lowe already has the relationships and Woj will introduce you to the ones you don't have and you're the perfect guy for it?
Could be.
Wendy also has a lot of.
I just don't know if Wendy
he
wants
it.
to.
Exactly, he doesn't want it.
Same thing with Bobby Marks. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
like,
Bobby wants to
why?
do it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
Lowe
wouldn't
would
want Bobby.
I don't know if
Yeah, I don't know if Lowe would
necessarily.
want to do
I
it.
think Lowe would be the perfect guy to do it.
Like he's
I think
like-
Lowe would do it differently. And
For sure.
wouldn't
And you don't have to be Woj.
He wouldn't be he wouldn't have to be the Woj or the Shefty.
No,
right,
you don't,
where-
you don't have to be. You
where
don't have
you-
to be that.
I mean, Adam Schefter said he has a driver so he can be on his cell phone.
Yep.
My
Yeah,
response
he
is
talked
just
about,
be on your
like-
cell phone while you drive. That's what I do. But
He was like, I understand Woj wanting to step away. Like, I too would be tired of having my phone up against the glass when I'm taking a shower to make sure I don't miss anything. Like, that's so stressful.
You know, they could also
Crazy.
just do like a group approach. Like
yeah.
True.
Lowe and Shelburne and Bobby and Wendy all have connections. They could just like ESPN reports. It doesn't have to be a one.
It's gonna be Perk.
Stephen A.
Perk.
Hell no.
My prediction, because we've seen, again, there's a lot of, like, I think some inside baseball that kind of led to Woj's decision outside of just, I want to spend more time with my family. Because like y'all mentioned, the role he's taken on isn't necessarily low key. He's going to be very busy. And I think some of that comes down to Pat McAfee and then he's having Shams on all the time as his NBA insider. My guess is they offer it to Shams. It's his to turn down. And if that doesn't work out, they just hire Chris Haynes back. And to Nick's point, it's more of a committee approach.
It is weird that they have Shams on the McAfee show, which is with ESPN.
So today on McAfee's show, I didn't watch, but I saw this clipped. He basically mentions it, McAfee does, about Woj, and then immediately starts campaigning for Shams to get the position with ESPN.
I think McAfee's also just kind of a loose cannon and a great.
He
he
is.
just kind of says
is.
shit.
Yeah, he
but-
just says shit. I can say shit. Hire me.
Why? I don't understand. So here's a.
We've been doing that for an hour.
tangent.
Yeah, hour and
What?
6 minutes.
A lot of people hate McAfee, and like, McAfee by definition is like one of us. And
It's
it's
just
just
not
really,
my cup of tea.
he's just really good at it. He's just really good at being a guy on a mic. Like,
Yeah.
if any of us got the call tomorrow from ESPN and said, "Hey, we want you to have this cool ass show where you just get on the mic and just go crazy," we would be Pat McAfee. But for some
sure.
reason,
But I
when
like
Pat McAfee
myself.
does
I'm
it,
just not a big Pat McAfee guy.
you all hate
Pat
him.
has more of the personality though to just
Yeah.
go
think
crazy,
Pat's
loose cannon.
sick.
Also,
not
he
my-
was an NFL punter. I mean,
Yes, it's
Like,
dope. If
He's
I
not
was
my
on
cup.
game
He's not
day,
my cup of tea.
I'd be feeding Saban with the tomahawk too. But people are like, "Why is he feeding Saban a tomahawk?" It's like, because it's
No, I
fucking
mean-
sick.
Don't make no mistake about it, Nick. I would be completely unhinged.
Yes,
Just not a Pat McAfee guy.
that's messed up.
Me either. I don't
That's
have any
cool.
an
issues
acquired
with him.
taste.
I just I got oil and gas podcasts to listen to.
That's right. I'll hook you up.
What's the best one, Taylor? Digital Wildcatters?
Oh, yeah, I listen to Digital Wildcatters.
All right, get to the
holy
outro. Get to the outro.
We gotta. I don't even know how to. I don't even know what to say after that. There's throwing out names
Just
at this point. What are we doing?
Bop it, twist it, turn it.
Yep.
Turn it.
I
It's
don't know.
Pop it, twist it,
It's memorized.
lick it, and spin it.
Oh my god. This
Pop
outro
it,
music
flick it,
cannot
twist it,
play
spin
any
it.
faster.
Lock it, flip it.
Well, thanks for listening to this episode. That was definitely longer than 45 minutes. We'll be back on Sunday with some stuff to talk about. Don't know what, but we'll be there. Until then, though, adios. Thunder up.